you. Okay, let's go ahead. Dear colleagues, I sent information about order of our next presenters in chat. Please, I would like to welcome for presentation our colleague from Ternopil, West Ukrainian University, Dr. Osolinsky.
Good morning. Hello, everyone. I'm ready to present my work, but was tiny problems with electricity, and I can present only according my articles. Can I present it?
Yes.
Okay. You see my presentation?
Yes, Alexander, we see and we hear you. Please,
Okay.
12 minutes for your presentation.
Okay. The main idea of this work, it was analyzing the methods of energy for measurement energy consumption by microcontrollers, and why we do it and why we analyze it, because today if we talking about only power consumption energy by microcontrollers, it's not correct, because today more correctly talking about energy consumption of all embedded devices, not only IoT. It can be power consumption of, for example, when data logging or data transferring, because many of these operations executing by microcontrollers, and analyze and select the methods for energy consumption for this task is urgent task. And in my work, divided to three big parts. In first part, we analyze in generally how to decrease the energy consumption. It's classical method. It's decrease clock time, decrease clock, or decrease, for example, frequency, and we get some profit with in power consumption. We analyze, for example, what will be if we decrease, for example, frequency, or if we decrease power source, for example, voltage, and it's one part, and its part can get profit about 50% with energy consumption by microcontrollers or another microcontrollers units. It can be, for example, from tiny Arduino for some smart energy counter. Yes. And on next step, we analyze the methods of how to measure current and how to measure power consumption. And on first, we analyze the classical method. It's which shown on figure 4. It's that method shown in many articles. It's shown in official site of Arduino, for example, and in other sites for another microcontroller units. We can find these methods too. But that method it's not good because we have a direct connection and we have tiny current, and it's not possible measure current in high precision level. And for and our next step was analyzing the interest systems which call it source measurement unit. It's more advanced devices which and you can connect, for example, your device which will be tested and test how many current consume this device too. One moment about these devices, that devices is not cheap and not all researchers can get this method, this device, because it's expensive things. Another methods which I analyzed that it was it called it tracker of energy consumption, and that method in this method we measure not we in this method measuring the charge discharge of battery on microcontroller, and all these methods it is side of microwatts and microamperes. But if we're talking about power consumption in all IoT industry, we need to remember about high performance computing, where for example, where are operation on graphical processors, and for this, if we see on this side, in this area, usually using current sensors, and you can measure not only micro current, but we can measure current on GPUs, yes, for analyzing, for example, data transferring or data logging or another. But all these methods, previous methods, it was methods which are connect to a device which investigated, yes, but is are another methods. It's not contact methods for measuring, and that methods, not contact methods, we can divide on few parts. It's measuring current on optocouples, or measuring current on digital isolation. And that methods and devices more interesting for my research, because it's not contact, and we not include any extra signals into measuring process, because measuring part and device under research is divided by some physical environment. And I proposed concept of measuring system for analyzing of current consumption by smart devices. It may be for graphical processor units, and this concept include few parts. In this system must be system measurement unit, and must be not contact current sensor. And after that, we can get two parameters. First, from measurement unit, and second, from non-contact current sensor. And after that, we can analyze power consumption. And for example, get optimal review how must work some IoT device for longer for long time without recharge batteries, for example. And about conclusions, we have some results, and all this, if we try to analyze IoT devices or some smart devices, or the first what we need to do is divided these devices before analyzing, divided for some groups, because new devices anytime we have new versions of IoT devices, new models, and for this need do deeper analysis of this field for divide IoT devices for some specific groups for analyzing. For example, one group we can analyze by contact methods, another group can analyze only non-contact methods, and in this concept, we can do this without implementing many measurement devices, because if we have non-contact or we have, for example, IoT device which can measure only by non-contact methods, we can use this concept. If we have device where we can use contact method, we can use this concept too. And it's finish of my presentation, and thank you for for your attention. And I'm so sorry that I not have presentation, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you, dear colleagues. Any questions now?
Alexander is here. Can I have a question? Thank you for the great presentation, Alexander. Two points that I would like to know and actually recommend you to look into is actually spurious power consumption assessment. Because in IoT products, especially the wireless ones, what is most important, what I see in the industry is that you actually assess the power patterns, not only the absolute values, but the way power is used. And there's one of the small hints also is to use super caps as pretty predictable energy sources to make the assessment of the power consumption used by the product. So I don't know. Have you looked into this method of power consumption assessment or not?
About super capacitors.
Well, supercapacitors and also you know, the spurious power consumption problems.
No, I not see on this field.
Okay, thank you. I think it would be really good good evolution of your work to
Yes.
assess that topic, because
Thank you.
it's
Thank you.
really a troublesome part of
Mhm.
this research, I think. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your questions and answer. Thank you, Alexander.
Thank you too.
And our next